I talked about this before the break. There was a woman who used to work for the San Diego Wave who put something out on Twitter this morning. Her name is Brittany Alvarado. She put something out on X on Twitter, and she essentially was talking about her experience with the Wave. So this was her own personal experience as a videographer. She worked for the Wave as a videographer and photographer, it sounds like. Actually, no, I can tell you that for fact. As a former video and creative manager for the San Diego Wave. And she essentially put it out there and said, look, I'm putting this out there for everyone who has endured abuse or who have been afraid to speak up. And she wants to put her story out there to fight for what she thinks is and what she believes is right in this situation based on how she says she was treated during her time at the Wave. So it's a really quite a long statement. I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but I'll give you the highlights here a little bit. She talks about being part of the National Women's Soccer League, really loving head coach Casey Stoney and what Casey Stoney was about, and then goes into what she said was some abuse on her part in terms of how she was treated under club president Jill Ellis. She says, and I quote, "The treatment we endured under club president Jill Ellis has been nothing short of life-altering and devastating to our mental health. She has compromised countless lives to advance her narcissistic personal agenda, fostering an environment where abusive behaviors among her subordinates are allowed to flourish." So again, Brittany calls for the National Women's Soccer League to take immediate action to remove Jill Ellis from both the San Diego Wave and the league entirely to protect the staff and players. It took up a lot of steam on social media, on X. And then it was retweeted by another member who used to work, it looks like, at the Wave. Her name was Jenny. And she said that she was placed on suicide watch during her tenure with the Wave in 2022. She begged for help while her mental health declined, but she was pressured to resign. So after a failed attempt, she said she left to save herself. It breaks my heart that nothing has changed in the past 2 years. Okay, I just want to start here by saying I don't know in this situation what is true and what is not. There is no way for anyone except the people who have endured this to know what is true and what is not. So I really want to preface this entire segment by saying I'm going to present the facts here. I'm going to present the facts as we know them, the information that we've been given to this point. But certainly, not Braden or myself are in any position to say who's right here, who's wrong here, what's really gone on. This is something that's going to have to be sorted out and investigated and looked into throughout the league. Certainly when someone is giving an allegation and it's this serious, you want to take it seriously and you want to encourage people to speak out when things are regarding their mental health or regarding life or death, regarding situations that they feel are compromising other people's safety. But at the same time, there's always a second side to it, right? There's always another side to stories. So I did reach out to the Wave, and they also just put this out in a statement. And the statement from them, they say San Diego Wave FC has been made aware of a recent social media post by a former employee that contains inaccurate and defamatory statements about the club. Not only does the post contain a fabricated email, but the claims made therein are categorically false, including the ones directed at our president, Jill Ellis. San Diego Wave FC is currently reviewing the situation and intends to pursue all legal avenues available to appropriately address this matter. So that was their statement. They are denying it, saying it's not true. Brittany and Jenny and many others are saying, wait, this is the experience that we had. It is true. This tweet that Brittany put out has gotten over 3,000 likes. All right. It's gotten a lot of traction so far. Over 1,000 retweets. I can't imagine that the NWSL doesn't look into this in some way, shape, or form. And I would imagine that if you are the Wave and you are hearing this, you're doing your own personal inventory, seeing if there's places that maybe something slipped through the cracks or something that you owe your employees in terms of mental health that could be better suited or better done. And at the same time, like, they also have the right to say, we are not doing anything wrong. This is false, which is what they're saying right now. But I would just imagine that something getting this kind of traction, this kind of heat on X is going to continue to be a story. It's going to be something that the National Women's Soccer League at least looks into to investigate if there's more to it.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to open an investigation. The tweet by Brittany's got 534,000 views on it.
There you go.
And Obviously, there's two sides to every story, and it's probably somewhere in the middle
Yeah.
with the facts. Jenny also went on to say that when I considered freelancing with the Wave after I left, my former boss, who's no longer there, offered to pay me $200 per game while hiring her white male friend for $1,000 a game, and then told me that I'm not good enough to earn more. So these are some pretty serious allegations from these two women. Not to say that they're wrong, not to say that, everything that they said is correct. More needs to come out on this before, obviously you can have an opinion on it, but it's not a good look for the San Diego Wave, especially in the women's soccer league. So I'm sure the NWSL will definitely investigate this because it's gotten a lot of traction, and the truth will always will eventually come to the light, and we're gonna have to wait and see on this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that when you have something like this that's getting the over 500,000 views, like Braden just said, it is imperative. It's your responsibility as a league, as a team, as a club to look into it and say, is there truth here? Because you don't want to ignore this kind of thing. At the same time, absolutely, the Wave, they're entitled to their side of the story too, which they're saying it right now is not true. So hopefully it is something that's looked into, that is not brushed under the rug. No employee should feel this way or go through something like this if it's indeed happening on the level that they're saying it is. Certainly the National Women's Soccer League and anything that is meant to empower women. But to be honest, this goes far beyond. I mean, this can be anyone in any workplace. It doesn't have to be just woman-centric or woman-driven. So again, hopefully they are looking into this and checking it out and wanting to explore it further. And hopefully the National Women's Soccer League also does their own kind of looking into it and investigating. And as far as the Wave, like, we might learn down the road that, that they did an investigation and maybe there wasn't this kind of stuff, or they've got other employees who say it's not happening or whatnot. So I always want to allow for that side of the story. But again, this is certainly getting a lot of traction and a lot of, at least a few people that are chiming in and saying that they've experienced something similar.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes out on this, and we'll probably talk more about it next week, but as it develops over the weekend. But some very pretty large-scale accusations against the Wave.
Yeah, they're in the middle of their season. They just changed coaches from Casey Stoney to Paul Buckle. Am I going to get that right, guys? Am I? Or do we know? Yeah, we do. To Paul Buckle. So they're going through kind of their own adversity on the field, as well as they work through what's not been a great start to the season for them. But this is also some adversity that they're going through here off the field, or some issues or matters that are happening in terms of their front office, at least the claims that are being made. So we will continue to keep you updated on this story as we get more information, but we did want to touch on it. We've seen a lot of people talk about it in the chat, seen some people call in and ask about it, or tweet in and ask about it. So appreciate the Wave putting their statement out, appreciate Brittany putting her statement out. That takes courage to do, to put that sort of thing out. Same with Jenny. So appreciate all of that, and we'll keep you posted on it more as we get things going and hearing more if more comes out on the story.